Lolly ho, internet. This is the Orpig coming to you. I apologize for the long hiatus. I took a little bit of a break. I got busy with family and work and doing stuff. And the next thing I know, it became a habit of not recording videos. But I'm back. I apologize if you didn't notice I was gone. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it too. Love you as well. So today's video is going to be on staying focused on your diet. I know I did one before about staying focused and doing that in the gym, but this one's going to be more for your diet. So for people who are like me or who enjoy food, who eat a lot, who know how to eat a lot, right? Who aren't just little wimps, but we actually like food and we continue to eat even beyond the point of being hungry. When you go on a diet or when you change your eating habits, right, you have to train yourself to eat less. And one of the most important things is that you are always going to be hungry. I am always hungry. I am always thinking about food. And even when I was gigantic and over 500 pounds, right after I eat a meal, I could still eat more. I could still easily force myself to eat more. I mean, I would literally eat until my stomach blew up or I threw up. So there's that conditioning that I have to where I'm used to eating all the time. And so far it hasn't gone away. I've been doing this for 2 years now. It's never gone away. I don't think it ever will. So it's important that you understand you're always hungry. I know people who have done their diets and changed their ways, and then they're like, oh my goodness, I can eat all this food I didn't think I could eat. So in other words, they were restricting their calories too low because they were trying to lose the weight. And then once they lost the weight, they kind of upped their calories a little bit. And so now they feel like, oh my goodness, I get all this food to eat and everything. And that might be fine for them. They might actually feel full, but I'm thinking they just feel full compared to what they were. So they say you don't have to be hungry. And I'm going to go against that. And this is just for me. This is just what I find. I'm always hungry. And especially when I first started this diet where I cut my calories in half. If you watch my videos, you know that I cut my portions in half. So even if I went out to eat and I went to eat at McDonald's or something, I would eat half the quarter pounder and I would eat a few of the French fries and I would usually drink water. I still wouldn't touch the soda. But if I did, I would drink half of it, right? So I cut everything in half. And so that left me really hungry. Not to mention there's food left on my plate staring at me that is really good and hot and it's never as good reheated and I want to eat it. But I would resist, right? Because you have that end goal in mind that what I really want. Do I really want that burger or do I really want to look good? And that's the battle that you fight. And so you have to understand that when you're focused on this, that's what you have to do. You have to constantly remind yourself, what's my end goal? And remind yourself every day, whether it's your family being alive, for your kids getting healthier, not becoming a diabetic or beating diabetes. Whatever that might be, you have to remind yourself, and especially in those moments when you're hungry, that this is why I'm doing it. And you're always going to be hungry. I mean, sleep is not only great for recovery of muscles, but it was great because if I can manage to fall asleep when I'm starving, then I'm not going to think about food for the next 8 hours. I mean, I might pretty good dream about eating pizza and steak and everything that I wanted to eat at the time, sundaes and ice creams. But at the end of the day, I wasn't eating it, right? I was just dreaming about it. So when you're sleeping, that's actually better. So the longer I can hold out and get the sleep, and then the longer I can sleep, that's less time that I'm in the kitchen or thinking about eating. So for me, I was always hungry. This is something that I've just conditioned myself back into feeling all the time. When I was in the Marine Corps, I felt this way. I was always hungry. I could eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. I could eat any time of the day. I could have just ate a meal, come to your house an hour later, and you say, you want to get something to eat? I would be like, sure, let's go. No problem. But as long as you got that high lifestyle, as long as you got that a lot of exercises and stuff like I did in the Marine Corps, I could eat all that food, and I can now. I have to stay active, right? So understand that for me, for a lot of you probably, you're always going to be hungry, and this is something that you have to condition yourself to deal with, that it's okay to feel hungry. And when you're hungry, I used to imagine just like a bulldozer or the claw, just grabbing fat off my stomach to appease that hunger that I'm feeling. Like, well, he's not putting any food down my throat, so I'm going to have to go into the reserves. And it was just that claw machine that would grab the candy, and it was just grabbing chunks of fat and eating it. So when my stomach was growling in bed and I was hurting, I was just envisioning that claw just grabbing fat, eating it, and I was going, yes, good, eat that fat, get rid of it. So remember, you're always going to be hungry. Focus on your task at hand. Okay, so to go along with how I said, always remember your goal. Always have that end goal in mind, whether it's your family, your kids, diabetes, whatever your goal is. Always have that in mind. But also stay focused on the task at hand. So, when you're at work, right? And I do a very desk job, I guess you would say, where I'm behind the computer a lot, typing and keyboarding away. I gotta be focused on that, not on food, because it's very easy. It's a subconscious thought for me to do my job, and I'm sure for many of you, once you've been doing your job for a couple of years, it doesn't require a whole lot of thought. There's other things that we can shift our focus to and still be doing the task at hand. So you have to tell yourself to come back to that task at hand and give yourself tasks to do. There's a lot of times on weekends, especially when I'm at home and I'm hungry and I want to go eat something, that I have to force myself out of that mode and say, no, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go wash my truck. Even if I just wash my truck, I'm going to go wash it again. I'm going to wash my wife's car, right? I'm going to clean the living room. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to go cut the grass on my edge. I'm going to work on the garden, something, right? I can find something to do. And that's what I would do. I would find something to do to take my mind off the hunger, to keep me out of the kitchen and from eating. So try to give yourself some tasks. There's always things to do. Whether you own a house or you rent an apartment, there's no excuse. You can always clean. You can always do something. I also find when I play video games, I don't eat because you got the controller in your hand, and I don't want to get Cheeto crust or anything that I'm grease on my controllers. I'm kind of a little bit ADD with that, right? Or OCD. I'm a little OCD with that. I don't want to get my controllers dirty, but that's me. Maybe you don't care and you get the Cheetos stains and the grease running down it, and who cares? It's my controller, but I'm not like that. So video games were actually a good distraction from eating, because I would play a video game for 2-3 hours easy. That would keep me from eating. Success. Tell yourself that you have surgery without the surgery. So I didn't get gastric bypass surgery, and there's no discredit to those that get it. Good on you, and I hope it works, and let it work. But the thing that's dangerous to me about it is that you can mess up that surgery. It's not an automatic. It's not liposuction. You're not getting the fat just sucked out of you. You're just getting your stomach shrunk. And if you still have that mentality to eat neat like I do, even after you're full, then you're just going to undo the surgery, because the stomach at the end of the day is nothing more than like skin. It's going to stretch and grow. And if you continue to eat, it's just going to grow right back to what it was. So I told myself, I don't need to get the surgery. I can do this on my own and just eat less. These people survive on that little diet, okay, on getting their stomach stapled, and then they eat like a piece of toast, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, because their stomach is so small. There's no reason you got to get that surgery if you can beat it mentally. They survive. You can survive on 1,000 calories or less. It's not hard. I mean, you could survive on no calories for a few days. You can survive on that. It's not hard, okay? But you have to have the willpower to do it. So tell yourself you got the surgery. Pretend like your stomach is this small organ again. And it, like we all experience, your stomach shrinks, right? What happens on Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving, you don't eat breakfast. Maybe you eat a light lunch or something like that to hold you over till Thanksgiving. And then you go to eat, and you barely eat because your stomach shrinks, okay? When it doesn't get food, it does shrink, okay, and go down in size. And then when you finally do eat, you think you're ready for this gigantic, enormous meal, and you can't put anything in you because your stomach has shrunk in size. And that's essentially what can happen for you. You can let it shrink down in size by not eating, and then don't undo that. Just like you shouldn't undo the surgery and eat and blow back your stomach up. When you manage to fast and not eat, and you get that stomach shrunk down and you feel full, don't push yourself past that point. Don't tell yourself, well, I haven't eaten all day, I have to eat. No, you don't. No, you absolutely don't. You don't need all those calories, okay? We're programmed into this idea that we need so many calories a day and we need this to function. The body needs very few calories to function and maintain itself. So only feed what you want. Again, like the beginning of the video, eat for the body you want, not for the body you have, okay? So that's something that I found worked for me. Your stomach's only as big as a closed fist, normal size stomach. It's only as big as a closed fist, and that's all I would try to eat. It's just enough for that. It's good, I believe, to have role models. Now, whether that's individuals who you aspire to look like with realistic goals. Understand that people take pictures with proper lighting, and nowadays you got Photoshop and all kind of crazy stuff that people do to enhance their looks and make themselves look good. So, realistic goals or old pictures of yourself. You're never going to see the changes that are being made when you're on a diet, when you just look at yourself every day. Every day we see ourselves in a mirror. I mean, unless you live in a house with no mirrors or you're a vampire, you're going to see yourself in the mirror at some point during the day. And, chances are you're like, really don't like the way this looks. So take those pictures, because you see yourself every day. You're not going to notice those changes. And when you've been sticking with a diet for at least 30 days, for a month, go back and look at that picture, because I guarantee if you've been honest and you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to see a difference when you look at that picture as opposed to what you look now. But when you look at yourself every day and you say, oh yeah, 30 days ago I looked the same. No, you don't. But when you look at yourself every single day, you don't notice those little bitty changes, okay? So find that inspiration, remind yourself of that inspiration, and stay focused on your diet. You can do it, but you got to take it one day at a time. You got to look back at it after 30 days. Give it time, 30 days, 90 days, and see what progress you made. I guarantee you, if you were honest and you stuck to your diet, you've made progress. So that's my video. I'm glad to be back. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe to the video, and I'll catch you again another time. See you later. Bye. Hey, if you stuck around, it's time for What's on My Set List. So today's song is by Linkin Park. I love them. There's a tons of good songs by them. But, you know, on my set list recently, I added Bleed It Out. It's a little bit of an older song by Linkin Park, but it's fast-paced. It's fun. I love it. It gets me pumped up and motivated at the gym. Let me know what songs you like to listen to on your set list while you work out, and I'll see you again. Bye.